National Nutrition interviews the natural health experts up close and personal. Meet Vitamost founder and nutritional researcher David Rowland, the maker of Canada's most popular heart health supplement, FLW. He's the best-selling author of The Nutritional Bypass and formulator of over 40 Vitamost nutritional supplements. Also known as a health educator and lecturer, David is a passionate advocate for patients' rights and has helped thousands of people live healthier and happier lives through his schools of nutrition and natural health articles. He's also a National Nutrition interview guest.
I'm David Rowland. I'm a nutrition researcher and master formulator. I've been in the nutritional supplements industry over 30 years. I decided to get into natural health because my own health was poor and the medical profession had no answers for me. I had suffered in my lifetime to that point, age 31 I guess it was. I'd had 2 very serious bouts of pneumonia, both of which were near fatal. The last bout of pneumonia I had took me a year from which to recover. It actually kept coming back and they kept prescribing antibiotics for me, and they would only work temporarily and they would make menace with my digestive tract. So the last time they prescribed antibiotics, I threw the prescription in the wastebasket on the way out of the hospital and never looked back for an answer. I studied everything I could get my hands on, nutritional courses, herbal courses, and I found out in finding answers for my own body, I was helping my associates at work with their problems, and I realized this stuff really works. I can help a lot of people. And it turned my life around. I went back to school, studied nutrition in depth, and it changed my career and my lifestyle. What I like most about being a nutrition researcher and master formulator is the change I'm able to inspire other people to make in their own lives by showing them options and providing formulas that help the body to do what they may not even believe is possible until they try it. The important things I've done in natural health range from creating 2 schools of nutrition, founding the Nutritional Consultants Organization of Canada, becoming Canada's first registered nutritional consultant, publishing Health Naturally magazine, creating the NutriBody method of analysis that's in wide use by practitioners as the #1 choice for finding out about bodily symptoms to correct diseases before they happen, to balance people's nutrition. Writing books, the most popular one of which, the bestseller of course, is The Nutritional Bypass. Being called a pioneer in the industry makes me feel very good, being recognized for my contribution. I've come out with and published ideas decades before the mainstream caught on. It's a wonderful recognition. I appreciate it. It takes ideas a long time to catch on because people have, for the most part, have a vested interest in what they already know or think they know, and so it takes a person with an open mind to step back and say, oh, here's a better way. There's a lot of momentum of, I've done it this way for so long, this is a new idea, it doesn't seem right to me. It's not, I don't see any research, it's only Rowland talking about it, I don't see it in any books anywhere, so obviously it's not worth paying attention to. I walk the walk. I live what I believe. I practice what I preach. I'll give you an example. I'm 70 years old. When I was 66 years old, I won a karate tournament in the over age 35 category. I keep myself healthy, fit, I use prevention, I keep myself in good shape, and I believe that the body has an incredible ability to heal itself and to normalize itself and remain healthy if we just know what to give it. Education about natural health is so important in order to counter the commercial messages that are out there about the drug approach to things. People want a quick fix. You got a pain, go to your doctor, get a pill, it fixes you up, or it kills the pain or whatever, and you get on. But that's not really dealing with the problem. It looks like you are, but those prescription drugs have side effects which cause other problems. And According to Terence Young, MP, prescription drugs kill 20,000 Canadians a year. And the natural approach doesn't kill anybody. It makes you healthier. But if people who are just caught up in their busy day-to-day life, and if they take whatever the medical profession says at face value, they're going to be sidetracking their longevity, their quality of life. I started my nutrition schools to educate people about choice. The body has an amazing ability to heal itself, provided we give it the raw materials it needs to do the job and the lifestyle conditions we need. The message isn't anywhere in the media. I created these two schools at different points in time to get the message across. Like, here's how the body works, here's how you can help yourself. There's all kinds of research in different areas, nutrition and other areas as well, biology and so on, to give people an understanding and help them, allow them to develop a passion for this as a career, and many have. The changes I've seen in the supplement industry is mass commercialism for the most part, where when I went into a health food convention in the 80s, there were a limited number of rows, a limited number of products. Now when you go to one of these shows, there's just such a cornucopia, an overwhelming array, that if I were starting a health food store today and I didn't have the background that I have, I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know whose product is best for what. On the one hand, there's much more available than there was before, but the choice is overwhelming, and I don't know that the quality is there the way it used to be, especially since Health Canada has started licensing dietary supplements and restricting which supplements we can have and what potencies we can have. This is none of their business, quite frankly. They do not have the legal mandate to do that. And the reason they're doing it, I've actually have on record Adam Gibson, the former head of the NNHPD, as admitting that it's Health Canada's goal to reduce competition for prescription drugs. He stated that Health Canada does not want people to stop taking their prescription drugs. So Health Canada has done a hatchet job on the industry, has lowered the quality of the products, lowered the availability. I'm here at National Nutrition today to share the exciting news about FLW, which is to date the answer for cardiovascular disease. It is the only product available at this point in time that corrects the underlying causes, plural, of cardiovascular disease, and has an amazing 30-year history of results, having helped over 100,000 people. The results are absolutely predictable. As a rough estimate, about 92% of the people who take FLW receive tangible benefits from it. Supplements are needed because we do not get enough quality nutrients from the food that we eat. Even people who are doing the best for themselves on organic food diets, they still may not be getting enough of key nutrients for their particular biochemical needs. There's a lot of biochemical individuality that's not understood. We don't all respond to formula nutrition. Everybody takes so much of this, so much of that. Then when people have a degenerative condition, something they wish to overcome, you have to really pile on specific nutrients to help various systems of the body recover. The minimum daily requirement schedules were based on what is the minimum amount of a particular nutrient you need to prevent a deficiency disease. For example, how much vitamin C do you need to take today to prevent scurvy, how much vitamin D to prevent rickets, how much vitamin B1 to prevent beriberi, and so on and so on. And these are very, very small amounts. But your body wants to have more than the minimum to stave off disease. Your body wants to build wellness. It wants to be healthy in every respect that it can be. And that requires a lot more than the bare minimum. I don't believe it's possible for very many people to get their optimal daily requirement from food alone because we're so biochemically different. Some people have many times the requirement for a particular vitamin than others. Could be like a discrepancy of 20 times in some cases. Some people have inborn errors of metabolism. Some people have digestive weaknesses that have to be corrected, and so on and so on. So there's one nutrient that virtually no human can get from food alone, enough to meet daily requirements, and that's vitamin C. Each of us has an inherent genetic weakness. In our bodies, we do not produce vitamin C or ascorbate in our livers the way other mammals do. And vitamin C is really a liver metabolite. It's not actually a vitamin. And its deficiency leads to many degenerative conditions. For example, those animals which produce ascorbate or vitamin C in their livers do not get cardiovascular disease. Vitamost is the brand name of the products that I formulate. And there's also now Vitamost Corporation, which distributes these products exclusively. Vitamost line was started in 1984 as a product line. And the name Vitamost was registered around 1990. And why? Was so that we could deliver the most we can in a tablet that helps a person with their specific health condition, the most in terms of the highest potency ingredients in the most synergistic combination with the best quality control and the most hypoallergenic tablets we can make. So we're doing the most we can in a tablet to bring the person results. Primarily are the results. How we achieve the results is through starting with the basics. I ask, what does the body require to enable itself to correct or heal the condition that the body is dealing with? So then I research what are the nutrients required for the immune system, the adrenals, the thymus, the spleen, the thyroid, wherever it happens to be, in combination or singly, to help the person overcome whatever it is they're dealing with. So I start with what does the body need and then develop a formula. This is much different from other formulators who start with what is selling great in the market and how can I duplicate it, or what's the latest research show and let's see if I can make a product that incorporates the latest research. This from my perspective, is going at the problem from the wrong way around. It's putting the commercial side of it ahead of helping the person. FLW is a combination of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, glandular concentrates that support the body to overcome the causes of cardiovascular disease. It's been available for 30 years. It was the only way I could see to correct the cause of the problem. What we're being told about cholesterol is basically nonsense from a scientific perspective. And all of the products on the market that were available 30 years ago and available today are dealing with symptoms of cardiovascular disease and not really getting to the cause. There are a total of 30 different nutrients in FLW, including the full spectrum of vitamins and minerals, plus 2 important amino acids, 2 lipotropic factors, and there are 3 glandulars, thymus, spleen, and adrenal, which support the immune system. But it's not just the ingredients, it's the synergistic combination, it's the ratios. FLW works in a number of ways. It supports the body to make lipoprotein lipase in the arteries, which dissolves the fats that accumulate in the artery walls. It provides a number of antioxidants to protect the artery walls and free radical scavengers to neutralize the hazards before they cause harm. Niacin to dilate the blood vessels. Vitamin E is an antioxidant, but also helps the blood to flow better. Those who should use FLW are those who want to prevent cardiovascular accidents. And the formula clears out the arteries. It reduces arterial blockages before they come serious, and even after they become serious. We've had people with blockages 80, 90%, 100% even reduced with the formula after the fact. But the best use of the formula is to take it before you get in trouble, because Unfortunately for many people, their first warning they have a problem is a heart attack, and about 50% of which could be fatal. There are two things that work very well with FLW. The first is a digestive enzyme. The one that I formed is called Ultragest, and Ultragest is to digestive weakness what FLW is to cardiovascular disease. There's a marker to know if you're absorbing the FLW tablets. Your urine should turn a bright yellow color. If it doesn't, it means your digestive system is weak and you need to support it with Ultragest in order to get the benefit of the tablets. Otherwise, you're just wasting your money. The second thing that works well with FLW are fish oils of various kinds. We couldn't put them into the tablets, and they don't clear out the arteries, but they do help with the flow characteristics of the blood, and they do help to reduce inflammation. And they're better taken separately than try to combine them in FLW, which just doesn't work in the tableting process. The success stories with FLW are endless. It's like hardly a week goes by that someone doesn't report something. Very few people put them into writing, they just will tell us over the phone. And it's the kind of thing you hear it so often, you unfortunately take it for granted. Well, of course, that's just what it does. There's some very significant ones published in the book, The Nutritional Bypass, but there are a number of ones where people said, the doctor sent me home to die. There's nothing we can do for you. Or bypass surgery, for example, doesn't do anything for the arteries behind the heart. It can only work on the arteries in the front of the heart. So that if they find a blockage behind the heart, they just send you home. There's nothing they can do. People who've had that have had those blockages removed with FLW. We've had cases of gangrene corrected, healed with FLW. This is impossible by anything the medical profession has. The gangrene is, the answer is amputation. We've had people save their legs. I remember back in the first year FLW was out, this man was about to have his lower leg amputated for diabetic gangrene, and he thought it was too late to save that one, so he took the formula to save his good leg, and he actually saved both of them. Through these 30 years of change I've seen in the supplement industry, FLW has not changed. It's the same product now, it always was. People can count on it for their lives. I have stayed by my principles, have not sacrificed to commercialism. In fact, when I first brought the product out, I was aware of similar products in the US, and they got into a situation where there were 14 different companies offering a similar type product, but they kept watering it down, making the ingredients poorer quality and lesser priced to get their competing on the basis of price. I took a look at it and said, no, they're going in the wrong direction. I'm going to take the concept and beef it up. Not only has the product not changed, it does the job it always has done, the price really hasn't changed. So this is an amazing formula that works, has always worked, and it's still the same product. The bypass surgery does not correct the problem. It doesn't even extend your life. What it does is it relieves immediate symptom, but whatever plugged up that artery in the first place is plugging up other arteries elsewhere, or even replugging the same artery where the sutures are. There's a rough place where debris can build up in the artery again. It's never been scientifically studied. They never took people with the same condition, divide them into two groups and say, you get bypass surgery, you don't, we'll see who lives longer. It's absolutely unscientific. EDTA chelation is a synthetic amino acid that's injected intravenously. You sit in a chair for 3 hours and you repeat this treatment about 20 or 30 times before you can clear out your arteries. EDTA works to clear out the arteries only if it's done intravenously. It's the only medical procedure that can remove arterial blockages. However, it doesn't get to the cause of the problem. You can have EDTA chelation, costs of $2,000, $3,000 or more for a series of treatments, and then you're going to have to repeat them 18 months, 2.5 years later because the blockages have come back. You've done nothing for the cause. EDTA chelation depletes the body of minerals, so immediately after a treatment you need to have the supplement, and guess what? The best one is FLW for that purpose. Now, although EDTA removes blockages, it can only go so far because The cause of the blockage is really a weakness in the artery wall underneath the blockage. That's what caused the blockage to build up, as explained in my book. The EDTA will not remove a blockage that's holding the artery wall together. It can't, otherwise the thing would rupture. So your body has a protective mechanism. It won't let go of that part of the blockage. However, FLW repairs the damage in the artery underneath the blockage and then can take away the entire blockage. There's some people in their products that they claim are for treating cardiovascular disease include EDTA in the formula. They might have a bunch of vitamins and EDTA thrown in there. That's window dressing. EDTA does not work when taken by mouth. It's a synthetic amino acid which your body rejects. It doesn't absorb it through the intestinal tract. And the reason it works in the arteries is because your body rejects it. In the arteries, it chelates or grabs a hold of minerals in the plaque, and the body, in getting rid of the EDTA through the kidneys, also gets rid of some of the plaque. That's how it works, because it's synthetic, because the body cannot absorb it. Vascular cleansing is a term I coined a while in the 80s, and then I changed it to arterial cleansing. It's the name. It's what we've named the process of clearing out the arteries, clearing out the blockages. Keeping the artery walls strong by resisting oxidation of the artery walls. The oxidation is caused by free radicals, as explained in my book. So part of the FLW program, what I'm calling the nutritional bypass program, but it's only a part. There was a lot of research done. I remember in the 1960s, the big deal was fats plug up your arteries, and so you have to, so stop eating saturated fats and cholesterol and have polyunsaturated oils and then flush them out. That's how simplistic the advice was back then. But around that time, there was also Evan and Wilfred Shute. I believe they were Canadian doctors who gave people a lot of vitamin E. Vitamin E is an antioxidant. It also improves the flow characteristics of the blood, so they got some good results. Vitamin C, people have some results with vitamin C, depending how much they take and depending on what else they take it with. But it takes more than a single antioxidant to do the job. It takes the antioxidants in combination with the other 20 plus ingredients in FLW to do the complete job. Cholesterol is not bad. Cholesterol is a vital bodily substance. It's required in your body. Under the skin, cholesterol converts sunlight into vitamin D. It's required as a constituent of sex hormones, and it's required as an insulator in all of the nerve cells in your body. It acts like the insulator on an electric wire to prevent them from shorting out from fluid, water. The most cholesterol you have is in your brain. It's a very high concentration of cholesterol to protect all your brain circuits. The cholesterol-lowering drugs have the effect of reducing cholesterol everywhere in the body, especially the brain, and this causes what colloquially might be called brain farts, where you just black out. All of a sudden you don't know where you are, what you're doing. You just had a brain lapse, and if it happens in traffic, it could kill you. And as a matter of fact, retrospective studies have shown that the cholesterol-lowering drugs increase the risk of death, violent death and suicide, because of the damage that's done to the brain by reducing cholesterol in the brain. Finally, the press is catching on to what many of us have known for decades. Cholesterol, it's not anything to do with the cause of the problem, it's not even a symptom of the problem, it's not even a red herring, it's an innocent bystander. Cholesterol has nothing to do with the cause of cardiovascular disease. If you want to if you have a cholesterol problem, you want to lower it, drink lots of water, get lots of fiber, get lots of exercise. If that doesn't work, take FLW. That helps balance cholesterol levels as a side benefit. It's not the purpose of the formula. If that doesn't work, most likely you have low thyroid. One of the symptoms of low thyroid is high cholesterol. Doctors are not very much aware of this because they underdiagnose low thyroid. They don't learn about the symptoms of low thyroid. They go by simply blood tests, and the blood tests for thyroid are unreliable. The so-called research into cholesterol as a supposed cause for the problem is all flawed. When I was at the University of Toronto in the 1960s studying probability statistics, we had a textbook called How to Lie with Statistics by Darrell Huff. In the 90s, I came across a book called The Cholesterol Myths by Ufi Ravnikov. And in his book, he showed how every single study proposes cholesterol as the cause of heart disease is flawed. In fact, if you take the two books, the cholesterol myths is an exact duplicate of How to Lie with Statistics. Every possible lie you can make with statistics is made by those advancing the cholesterol as a cause theory. It got off the rails with a researcher called Ansel Keys, who took the data from 7 countries, plotted on a graph, drew a line through the graph and said, look, the more cholesterol you consume, the more heart disease is in that country. Problem. Ansel had access to the data from 22 countries, but he only chose the 7 that suited his preconceived notion. If he'd put all 22 sets of data on the map, there would have been absolutely no correlation whatsoever. The big deal now in cholesterol research is something called a coefficient of correlation. It's the symbol R given in probability and statistics. The coefficient of correlation is a measure of how close your theory predicted the results. A correlation of 1, an R value of 1, indicates every point on your graph was predicted by your theory. A correlation of 0 means nothing. There's absolutely no correlation whatsoever. The highest correlation in any of the cholesterol studies was 0.3. The highest. That means that at best, 30% of the data were predicted by the theory. This is not science, this is fraud. Ultragest is to digestive weakness what FLW is to cardiovascular disease. Ultragest provides the body with hydrochloric acid, pepsin, pancreatin, bile, and some vegetable enzymes to support every link in the digestive chain. It is, according to practitioners who use it, the most effective digestive aid available anywhere. And it has instant results. If you've got belch, burp, and bloat, you take a tablet or 2 with the meal, depends on your body needs, and it's gone instantly. You get instant benefits, instant results, so you know that it's working. When people should take Ultragest depends on what kind of digestive weakness they have. Most people, myself included, I take it after the meal because if I let my body do what it can on its own during the meal and supplement afterwards, then Ultragest is supplementing my body, not substituting for my body. It's taking what my body can do and then taking it to another level. Some people, however, who have extreme digestive weakness may need to take 1 tablet before the meal, 1 during, and 1 after. The success stories we tell about Ultragest are very limited because nobody's really put them in writing. I think there might be a couple of them we've got written down somewhere, but it's, you take it, you get better, and you move on. We take it for granted, I guess, but it's not something, it's not the same magnitude of FLW. It saved my life, it saved my limbs. You know, I didn't have to have bypass surgery and all that kind of thing. It's just, I can now digest the tablets. I don't burp, belch, bloat. Meat used to sit heavy in my stomach, now it doesn't. All these kinds of things. It's just instant. It's not the kind of thing you need testimonials about. You just take it and it works. The proof of everything is, does it work? And the proof is really experiential. I said earlier on that about 92% of people get benefit from FLW. The proof is it works for that 92%. So the proof of the Ultragest is it works for everybody that takes it. And if you want proof, take the formula. You are the proof. Your body's the proof. My latest book is a rewrite, an update of The Nutritional Bypass, How to Reverse Atherosclerosis Without Surgery. I went back to the basic book. It was written in the 90s sometime, and updated with more research, more scientific explanation, and more testimonials. It's thicker, it's better documented than it's ever been before. And the book has been around in various versions by different names for, well, I guess since 1986, going on for 30 years. Those who should read the Nutritional Bypass are those who wish to prevent heart attacks, strokes, cardiovascular accidents for themselves and in their family. This is a devastating, insidious disease. I say insidious because you don't normally have any signs of it until an artery is 70% blocked. The book gives you early warning signs to tell before then that you're likely to have a serious problem if you don't take corrective action, and the book spells out clearly how to take that corrective action. I love it. It's an amazing warehouse marketing machine. It's a wonderful way to get the word out and to supply the products that make the difference in people's lives. First of all, would be in the education, having speakers like myself and making the books available, getting the word out, and then providing the products that manifest the principles in people's lives.
Vitamost is absolutely thrilled to be receiving this Best Heart Health Supplement Award from National Nutrition. It's a thrill after 30 years to still be receiving this kind of recognition after the success of FLW.
I feel thrilled. It feels absolutely wonderful to be recognized for this formula. We at Vitamost know how well it works, and we're just thrilled to have this recognition.